So the Senate, Joe Biden and everyone, they signed the bill that TikTok is now going to be banned in the US. So if you have TikTok, you got about 9 months to about a year till everything gets taken to court. And that's when it's, probably ultimately going to get banned. And when it's in the courts, show TikTok, they're probably going to try to prolong it for a couple of months. So you have a couple of months after the actual year or the time frame that they have. Because the bill that they made said that ByteDance, TikTok's parent company, they have 9 months to sell it. And the extra year or the extra 3 months, that's only going to happen if there's actually progress in selling TikTok. But if there's no progress at all, then, they don't extend it for another 3 months. But they're only going to extend it if, Joe Biden thinks the process is going to be on the sale. And with the court, that's going to happen because TikTok is going to try to sue the US government because of the bill. So I feel like the absolute earliest, including court, will be maybe 10, 11 months from now. So February or March. But, you never know. And honestly, I think the only way that's actually going to stay in the US is that if they decide to sell to someone in the States. There are a couple of possibilities. First, to sell to someone in the States, but that's probably not going to happen because, if they were going to sell to someone, they probably would have sold it back when they did that whole hearing. So, TikTok is probably going to be banned in the 9 months to a year. If they do sell it, then, problem solved. Or, stuff might happen. It gets banned. Someone in the States, they make their own TikTok variety. They make their own TikTok variant called stars and swipes or something like that. Something like patriotic, which I feel like, someone might do either way. Because we're on Gen 3 or generation 3 of posting short clips. Because Gen 1, Gen 2 was Vine and TikTok. Another possibility is that somehow it just doesn't get banned for a while. They prolong the thing in court for so long that you get it for a couple more months. Then there's a 1 in a million where it doesn't get banned, bill gets reversed, or something like that where everything just goes back to normal and doesn't get banned. Or they sell to someone in either Canada or the UK for some reason. And from there, it's either going to be they're going to keep it banned, they're going to make Canada or the UK try to sell it to the States, or to just unban it since it's not under ByteDance's control, but instead Canada or the UK. So how the bill actually passed was that the bill wasn't just to ban TikTok alone. The main part of the bill was to provide a $95 billion critical aid care package for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan, which is I think how most people get the bills done. They have the main part, which is something really helpful that helps out a lot of people. And then in that same one, they have a lot of other stuff that you probably don't want to get passed. But since the main point of it is you're helping out other countries with a $95 billion budget, you really can't say no to that. So after the bill passed, main TikTok CEO guy, he talks about the bill being passed and he made a short video, which he basically said in it that since the bill's passed, it will take away TikTok from 100 million Americans. And now that I think about it, right? What happens to those who are relying on TikTok for money? Because you have the TikTok Live guys, which is Spider-Man and Ice Cream Lady. Do they just get regular jobs now, or what happens? Because Ice Cream Lady, I think she has an OnlyFans, so I'm not sure how much he makes from that. Spider-Man, what's it called? I think he has a YouTube channel, but he hasn't posted. His Twitch stream isn't that good either, or not that many followers. But what do they even do now? Because can you imagine going into a Wendy's and what's it called? Seeing your favorite creator that had hundreds of millions of followers of working at a Burger King. Because I remember what was it a couple years ago when Charli D'Amelio, when she was number one, and there was the thing about the TikTok ban. There's so many memes about her just dancing behind a Burger King or something, which I feel now that actually might be a reality. So he says that TikTok, it banned, since TikTok's gonna be banned, it bans your voice, since a lot of people on the platform were actually voicing their opinions on TikTok, which how most people made a living. For example, Keith Lee. But I mean, he should be fine because the amount of traction and how much motivation and how much power he had behind him, I feel he should be fine. Because if anything, he can just post on YouTube or Instagram Reels. Because I feel he's one of the few creators who are gonna go unscathed or without any issues. Even though the bill main part was the critical aid, a lot of politicians said that their actual main goal was the actual ban. He says that TikTok reflects on the American values being freedom of speech, since a lot of people get their news through TikTok, and TikTok is gonna fight the ban in court. He says that TikTok has helped over 7 million businesses, and if TikTok help you, show your support, and for TikTok to showcase why they're fighting against the ban. He talks about how TikTok has spent billions in order to keep your data safe from outside manipulation, since America's whole thing is that they want to keep it control, and that they think that ByteDance is selling their stuff to the Chinese government, which, they possibly could be. I really don't know since I'm not, you know, in China or like, getting stolen data from. I don't know like what else to say. So since every other main media was made in the US, they just wanted another, most people just say they wanted another one under the belt. Because what is it? YouTube, everything, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, everything was based in the US. And the one thing that was number one was like, ByteDance made in China, but they don't even have TikTok themselves. Was it they have Bilibili, or is that like their YouTube variant? I can't remember. But like once TikTok actually goes, it's probably gonna be Instagram and YouTube that's gonna be like on the forefront, or not Instagram but like Reels instead. Cause I'm guessing that everyone who amassed an actual audience on TikTok, they're probably gonna like spend like the last like 9 months trying to actually push their audience towards like something like their YouTube channel. Because like not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure YouTube pays more than Instagram. Ultimately after TikTok does get banned, YouTube and like Instagram are gonna get a lot of traction. Because like just alone 170 million people going onto like YouTube or Instagram, right? They're gonna get a lot of tractions because everyone's minds are so brain rotted that they're actually gonna need something to actually stimulate them. Because like they're gonna fiend for like short clips. And the next best thing is probably gonna be shorts or like reels. Reels, like I think like you can do it for like longer than a minute, but with shorts, right? Like everything like has to be like under a minute. With that, then it's gonna be what was it? Oh yeah, they're probably gonna like change it to like longer clips, because most people, you can actually like on TikTok, you watch a short, you go in the comments, you can watch a part 2. Because like for me, the main reason that I use TikTok is literally just to watch like Reddit stories. So I literally just like, part 1, go in the comments, part 2 right there. Well, like YouTube, like, they kind of don't like have like go in the comments so for the part 2. Nah, you gotta scroll for that. Go on their channel, you gotta scroll for that. And you don't know what video it actually is on. Because like, TikTok, like you just go, go on the guy's channel, watch the most recent or scroll down to most recent. And then like, it tells you if you watched that video. With YouTube, you gotta make a guess. Because like now it's gonna be at the point when TikTok gets banned, all 170 million Americans are either gonna do a few things. They're either gonna start posting their own stuff and try like do something like that, get like thousands or possibly millions of views and subs. Small channels will either find success since their audiences grew by like over 200 million. So like something's bound to happen for that. And even larger channels will probably get even bigger. Or nothing can happen at all with YouTube and everything just goes to Instagram. Or somehow everyone just gets back into streaming like how the pandemic was. Or nothing happens at all. But I feel like, something will happen because most people, they downloaded TikTok during COVID times and it boosted a lot of content creators from like struggling to like top 10. I'm not saying, just TikTok alone, but like all the different like social media stuff, people grew like exponentially during COVID times. And if that gets banned, people are going to, what are people going to like replace their time with that they use for TikTok? Unless people find a hobby, they're going to go to the next biggest social media site, which, is probably going to be YouTube or Instagram. So that's about it. If you like, then sub. If you sub, you might get another video.